What up, G?
What's up?
How are you feeling?
Huh? How am I
How are you
feeling?
feeling?
I'm a lot better. I uh I got sick again.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been quite the spiritual detox, my friend.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm really grateful that I'm feeling a lot better. And yeah, it brought up like so many things during I mean, I couldn't help anybody.
Ooh,
I couldn't help any clients. I just had to help myself.
yes.
And it brought up, as you and I have talked about, like how I'm no longer in alignment with certain things that I'm doing in my career
Yeah,
specifically. And then also my living space too, right?
yeah.
Um, and that's what will happen, right? Like we will have things happen in our lives that lead us to not being in our normal routine. And then we have all of these insights coming in, and it's like, oh,
Mm.
that actually isn't working for me. Or, oh, that is working for me. Um, so yeah, lots of lots of stuff. And we're in episode 8.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
so we took a bit of a pause while you were healing,
yes.
and we allowed,
Truly allowed.
yeah, yeah, to let go on timing and to just allow yourself to be. And
Yeah.
so, as you were allowing yourself to rest, which I know was not easy for you,
Yeah.
like the universe, spirit, your body physically was like, no.
Yes. No.
Right here, I'm going to apply the pressure. Don't move.
Yeah.
Just allow yourself to receive. And so, my friend,
Yes.
what came up for you as you allowed yourself to receive what your body was asking for?
Mm. Well, I talked a little bit about it last episode,
Mhm.
but I think it came in even more so this time around, which is um, when I am in my head, uh, I am one out of alignment because I'm not in my heart. And two, it made me recognize like how many times in different areas I've been so in my head and how fear can dominate my world if I just let my mind run with it
Yeah,
in any scenario.
right.
Also, with that, uh these like I when I picture this, I see like a spider web because there's all these different sort of like lines connected to each other, and it feels very like fuzzy when you start getting really deep into that fear because it can go so many different places. But I recognize that, for a bit, like ever since you've known me, I've talked about how individual work with people, in the way that we tend to do it in the field of psychology, it can be helpful in terms of people feeling supported and not alone, right? And gain intellectual insight about their lives and about patterns. And that's all beautiful. And there is such a overemphasis, and I'm guilty of it completely, of sticking just to intellect because it only goes so deep. And um, if we only rely on one tool when we have a multitude of tools inside of us, it's just like it's one tone. It's not vibrant. It's not getting into the depth of yourself. It's not uh dropping into your heart. Because when I'm doing my work with you, when we are in therapeutic theater doing what we do, oh my God, like I already feel it. Like it's this electricity that sparks into my heart.
Yeah. It lights you up. It expands your energy. You feel full of vitality. You walk away feeling fulfilled. I'm the same exact way.
Right.
Facilitating North Node, I'm like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
that like yeah,
yep,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, this period of my life, it's like I've been in the field for 17 years in psychology, and I've reached this like edge of this is no longer working for me. This is
Yeah.
no longer expanding me into the evolution of myself that I deeply want to go into, which is being completely heart-centered.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that is like one of the biggest things that popped up during this sickness.
Yeah.
And, you and I in North Node, we focus on helping people get into their bodies, which then you can access empowerment of self. You can feel into like the depth of your truth
Yeah.
in ways that you can never do intellectually.
Right. Because emotions are stored in the body, it's stored in your fascia system. And when you combine intention and breath and movement, suddenly like shit comes to the surface. And you're like, oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that I felt that.
Yes.
And then to move through it, allowing movement, integrating the movement, you move it shifts so much faster. Emotion is energy in motion. We are meant to experience it. Does it feel comfortable? No, half the time it's really fucking uncomfortable, but it goes so much faster if you allow the wave to come up.
Hmm.
Right? Like I always I say that I'm an emotional athlete, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been out of the gym life for a little bit. And so if I were to go and do 100 push-ups right now, I would be like, "Fuck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's great. I know where I need to practice, right? Like
Yeah.
we as a society have programmed from like as early as kindergarten to no, no, no. You sit still in your desk, you're quiet, you pay attention.
Right. You don't have a body.
Right. Yeah. We are programming society, people, to not allow the space for the emotions to come up. And
Hmm.
for me, growing up, if I had an emotional moment, an emotional outburst, I was labeled as like a bad girl. Like, come
Yeah.
on, be good. Like, straighten
Right.
up. Like, you're too sensitive, toughen up. But as I have continuously, I guess, rebelled against that because I knew wholeheartedly that something was just wrong about that, I would rebel on my own and release the emotion and then come back into the real world and then be able to navigate really difficult scenarios because I was exercising on the side.
Yeah. It's huge.
The only way to heal is to allow yourself to feel.
Oh, dude. That's say that again, please.
Seriously, the only way to heal is to allow yourself to feel.
Dude, that like resonates
I
inside
know.
my body so much.
Yeah. And we constantly, and I still do it too, right? Like I still do it. Like we, and I'm saying we as humanity because
Yeah.
we truly all do this. We look outside of ourselves and we want the answer from somebody else.
Hmm.
We go to the professional, we go to the doctor, right? Like,
Right.
no, we go to, a medical doctor, a specialist. Like, this person will know way
Yeah.
more about my body than me. But,
Right.
and I can't tell you how many times I've had doctors be like, I'm the one with the doctorate. Let me do the diagnosis. I'm like, bro, you're not living in my body. You don't know it the
Yeah.
way I do. Fuck off. Like I I
Yes.
know, sure, you can talk at me all you want, but sure enough, you run the test that I'm asking for, you will find the result that I'm telling you is every single time. Who's right? Why? Because I listen to my body,
Yeah.
right? I'm in tune with it. I'm in tune with her needs, and sometimes I override her, and I'm guilty of that, right? Where am I ignoring myself? I am aware of where I'm ignoring myself. Yes, thank you. I right, I'm going to hold myself accountable too.
Yeah.
But also, like, it comes back to the simple thing of, if you allow the storm to come up from within, it passes so much faster than you think it will.
It's true.
And as children, we all did it.
Yeah.
We all allowed the emotion to be big and
Yes.
expressive, whether it be frustration, anger, sadness, grief, joy, excitement. It was a big experience. We allowed it, and 2 seconds later, we were experiencing something different.
Yeah.
We just forgot how to allow it to happen.
Totally.
So, in North Node, our workshops, we guide people to remembering.
Yes.
And there's so much nuances of like, okay, how does that feel now? Okay, what's coming up for you right now? Okay, how does it feel if you move this way? Maybe that's not the answer. Try this way, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's this constant dance of the curiosity of
Hmm.
what's happening for you in this moment. How do you feel? What do you need in this moment? What would
Right.
help you feel resolved?
Right. Yeah. I I think about like animals too, like kids and animals. Animals feel things and they feel them and then it's done.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I know you and I have worked so hard to return back to that remembering as much as we can.
Oh yeah.
Because when I do that and I sit in that place of like truly like honoring the feelings inside of me, it is so freeing. So freeing. And what you said earlier about like, how we can tend to ignore ourselves. Or like you also said, I just want to point out like, yeah, externally, there's so many things that are saying to us, you should just listen to me.
Right.
Look at diet culture,
Yes.
all like what you were saying, doctors,
Mm-hmm.
psychologists, like people still believe when they come to me for therapy that I have the answers. I don't have the answers.
Also, we got caught up in label me.
Label
Please
complete.
label me. What do I have?
Yeah,
What is
what
wrong with me?
is right?
Put
What
me
is
into
my
a box.
yeah? What is my diagnosis?
Great, great. And then people grab onto it. My anxiety, my depression, my fill in the blank, right? Like
Right,
my eating disorder, it's
right.
my ADHD, my ADD. It's like, okay. Do you really want to check this box for the rest of your life? Like
Right.
some boxes you might check for the rest of your life, but do you really want to abide by the belief of, this is my perception, this is the label that I'm going to live by. Like, how about we just say I'm experiencing anxiety in this moment. I'm feeling anxiety. I'm
Yeah.
feeling depression in this moment and kind of feeling slightly displaced. Like, okay, this is temporary, but I will move through it. When we label ourselves of I have or my or I am, like those two words are so powerful. I am. What follows that
Yeah.
is so expansive and so powerful.
Yeah. And, this is such an interesting conversation because, like you're saying, to some degree, it can be helpful information.
Yes.
And we use language to help understand ourselves and understand each other and navigate like what are the next steps to helping myself. And yet we really have reached this place of self-diagnosing, being diagnosed in a pathological way,
Mhm.
and like completely, like you were saying, taking on the identity that this is who I am
Right.
rather than this is what I'm experiencing. And it is an important distinction because
Yeah.
I mean, look at the DSM. That is the Bible of psychology.
Yeah.
Disorders, personality disorders, and I will speak about this as a psychologist. It is incredibly harmful. Look at PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
That is so harmful because people believe that I will live with this my entire life.
Right. And
It,
it's not true.
and it's not true.
No, it's a temporary experience. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, how long that temporary experience could vary, right? Like it could
Totally.
be years
It could
that,
be.
but it's I feel like the label is disempowering because it's forcing you to abide by a narrative
Yes.
versus like I've had PTSD twice, minimal twice that I can recall in this moment, and I knew that it was temporary. I kept saying to myself, okay, as long as I can just get my nervous system under control, I can allow this to move. I can I can expand my toolbox
Right.
and gain the imperative knowledge of how to take care of myself in a deeper, more compassionate way.
Yeah.
And each episode, if you will, was this glorious opportunity to tune in and fine tune how I was meeting myself.
Right.
Right? Like especially after the car accident and when I was diagnosed with PTSD, right? Like
Yeah.
to me it was obvious, but sure, having a doctor validate that was like, oh, okay, maybe my family will help and assist. No. Okay, great, moving on. Right? Like it was this moment of, all right, how can I take care of myself during this time of my life? During massive change and massive shift of how I'm showing up in the world,
Right.
how can I continue to meet myself? And honestly, like even how I talk about the I say that I'm in the ripple effect
Mhm.
of the TBI. Like I no longer claim it of, yeah, I have a traumatic brain injury, right? Erase, clear, delete, because I don't. I'm in the ripple effect of
Yeah.
it because I've put forth so much work to being able to heal my body and heal my brain. And yeah, some days certain symptoms are just a little bit more dominant than others. But if I had allowed myself to remain in the narrative of I have a traumatic brain injury, like
Right.
who knows how long I would still be dealing with it because I'm keeping myself into a box.
Right. Yeah. That's like the shadow side of diagnoses.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
It really is. And, I remember listening to this podcast episode, and I loved what the psychologist said. He said that why don't we name it post-traumatic stress syndrome?
Yes.
because syndrome speaks to the temporariness of it.
Yeah.
And that like we are such resilient resilient human beings
Mhm.
that like you were saying, we can move through it and uh there's an opportunity to not only move through it, but to, like you were saying, take something from it that leads you deeper into loving yourself, seeing the world in a more meaningful way, seeing yourself in a more meaningful way, right? Like I did my dissertation on this. It's called post-traumatic growth.
Yeah.
It's growth after trauma. And that's not
Yeah.
to invalidate the feelings of trauma and PTSD symptoms at all. We can hold that with like you are a human being who is resilient. And what are you going to transmute from this trauma that helps you heal and then also becomes like your superpower in terms of your purpose in life? Like that's what we do.
Yeah.
Look at like human beings. Look at, you and I. The wounds that we experienced early on have become our superpower.
Yes. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's amazing. And why not do that? Why not let yourself expand even more into your own life through
Mm.
your pain?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, the alternative is you stay stuck in whatever heaviness that's inside of that trauma and then, reinforcing it with the narrative of there's something inherently wrong with me,
Ooh.
right? Like,
Whew. Yeah.
and I've been there, you know,
Same.
and it's rough.
Yeah. Yeah. I was diagnosed by a psychiatrist, I think. Yeah. In high school. In
Okay.
high school. Okay. Where my brain isn't fully done developing, right?
Yeah.
That and he said that I would have major depressive disorder for the rest of my life.
Oh, wow.
And I remember thinking like, well, you're a fucking idiot. Thank you for wasting my time. Thank you. You just wasted, you just cool. Um, and my mom was in the appointment with me, and she's like, "Oh God, my daughter's so fucked up."
Mm,
Like, she walked away from that appointment with like, she's never going to be okay. And, and to this day, she still victimizes whatever narrative is happening within my life. Like, and, once I got out of undergrad and got off of the meds that they put me on, um, I started to realize that the depression that I was experiencing was because I wasn't able to express my emotions.
yeah.
I wasn't able to be curious about life and explore. I was raised in a very fear-based environment,
Mm,
and so much of that fear was instilled in me because of my grandmother. And and then I have compassion for her because I'm like, well, what the fuck happened to you to make you like live in this narrative and then teach
yeah.
your children and your grandchildren to be in this? And and I digress. Anyway, like I just realized that I was actually like, no, no, no. I have so much vitality and curiosity for life, and I'm really happy and joyful. I
Yeah.
am not at all a depressed human being, you know, stuck in major depressive disorder. What it was situational. I was surrounding myself in a scenario that was not allowing for creative expression, that was not allowing for emotional safety, that was not allowing for growth. I was surrounding myself with people who, this moves into my next topic, who were believing a perception of me
Mm.
rather than being curious about me.
Yes. Okay. Before we get into that, that's really good, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to highlight one thing that you said, which is completely brilliant. Our environment.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that enough. And our environment is so important. We are social beings that have been conditioned in this society to believe that we are just individuals and we have the responsibility of taking care of ourselves. It's this like hyper independence.
Yeah. Yes.
When the truth is, we are completely interconnected with everybody, and
Yeah.
all of us are believing that we have to figure this out on our own
Yeah. Ooh,
and
yeah.
not reach out for help with each other, which is exactly what we need in this world.
Yes.
So, yes, the environment, massive
It's
component.
huge. It's huge. You know, for the first time in my life last year, I was blessed. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I was so blessed to find an incredible roommate who very quickly became my best friend and soul sister. And
Yeah.
we provided such a level of safety and ease for each other to just be who we are. And it was so easy to coexist with her that I was like, oh, this is a
Yeah.
safe home.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a safe relationship. I could just truly just be me. And we hold, because we continue to hold space for each other, um, with like, hey, where are you right now? Are you
Yeah.
okay? Like, how can I help you remember that you are a beautiful ray of light?
Yeah.
And how can I help you remember that you're so lovable in just who you are and not how you show up for the world, but in being who you
Yeah.
are. How can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I support you? Like that level of love,
Yes.
that level, like that's what I'm comparing moving forward to, of like, she has helped me set the bar so high where I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
That's the loving environment that I'm after. And if I don't feel that, if I can't give that, if I can't show up to that, if I don't find myself in that, like I don't interact. I pull
Yes.
back.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout
That's
out Janine, thank you.
yeah, Janine, sweet soul. Um, yeah, that is it. Uh, I was talking to the lovely lady that I am dating, and she talked about like how when you have that environment, it's like that kind of love is like breathing. Like that's the level that we need it to be at. That kind of love is inherent in interactions that we have with people around us.
Yeah. Yeah. But also
Yeah,
let me hold the space of compassion, is
sure.
that our great grandparents did the best that they could with what they knew
Mhm.
how to do. And that
Oh yeah.
transferred to our grandparents and they did the best that they could with that they knew how to do, which then transferred to our parents that, you know, God bless my parents. They really did that they could with what they knew how to do. Like my father is he died of cirrhosis of the liver. He was a severe alcoholic and he really was a troubled artist. He was a musician and just didn't know how to face his demons without alcohol. He had no idea how to do it. No idea how to do it. And I look at him with such compassion of this little boy that just wasn't in a safe environment. He just wasn't. And he grew up and he did the same thing that his parents did for him. He checked out, he drank, He pieced out. He was like, okay, this is too much.
Yeah,
Right? Like my mom did the best that she could with what she knew how to do,
totally.
especially given the circumstances that she was married to the man that she was married to, right?
Right.
Like she locked herself into work, and thank God that my grandparents were so involved. Like they did the best that they could with what they knew how to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And I'm with you. Like really like people are doing the best that they can with what they have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
And I say that because sometimes when I talk to my mom, she's still so much in her wound.
Hmm.
And then there's this emotional response, and it's like, that's not what I'm saying. And I just hold her in love because she just doesn't know how to give herself love. She's in
Right.
that space of just not knowing, which
Yeah.
is also why I feel so passionate about showing up the way that I do for North Node, because I'm like, great, we're going to workshop this. We're
Yeah.
going to continue to break the chains of this generational shit. Like we're going to, especially the emotional expression, like my friends, you were never broken.
Yeah,
You
truly.
were never broken. You just forgot. You just forgot. And so I'm here to help you remember. Not that I know how to remember, but I'm here to help guide you in whatever capacity of me just encouraging you and empowering you of, but you do remember. How do you do it? How do
Right.
you do it?
Right. Yeah.
And how you do it is so specific to you
Yeah.
versus compared to me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finding that inside of yourself with other people supporting and witnessing is what we do.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let's you were getting into another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Do
for
you
it.
do you really know me, or do you know your perception of me?
Yeah, okay. This has come up this week quite a bit, so it's funny that you say that.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, do you want to get into that first or shall I?
Well, this goes back to what we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
the labels that we apply to ourselves and to each other, right? Like
Yeah,
the simple narrative of I'm your instructor, therefore I know more. I'm your
right.
doctor, therefore I know more. I'm your mom, therefore I know more. It's like,
Right.
okay, just because I was diagnosed with depression does not mean that I am locked into depression for the rest of my life. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
That was fucked up.
Just because I've had a brain injury does not mean that I am compromised for the rest of my life,
Mm.
right? Like
Right.
we get locked into the narrative of who we are and who we expect the other person to show up as versus remaining open and curious of, hey, who are you today? How you doing today? Are you
Yeah.
doing okay today? What are
Right.
you navigating today? What's coming up for you today?
Yeah. Yeah. And like you were saying, this shows up uh well, it shows up in many different ways, but one way that can be very rigid is what you spoke to inside of families.
Yeah.
That there's this like one image. So, for example, I don't know exactly how my parents see me now, but before my divorce, they saw me as this very like sweet, uh, sweet woman who uh, did things that they liked and this this growing psychologist in the field and right like just this kind of like positive image of me like super kind blah 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 right and then everything happened with the divorce and my queerness, and it completely shattered their image. They thought that I was married, I was gonna have kids, blah blah blah, right? And then it just shattered everything. And they went into this like really negative image of me,
Mm.
of like I I'm I'm not a committed person. I don't follow through, right? Like all these like things. And it still lingers to this day. And maybe a part of that is I'm still lingering in some ways too to
Mm.
those images of me that I need to continue to like provide forgiveness for and love. So it's not just them, it's also me too
Yeah.
that can attached to an image
Yeah.
because of a
Yeah.
painful event and then
Yeah.
hold that against myself. I did that for a while. And right? Like I know I'm not alone in this. When we have major painful events that happen because of our own choices,
Yes.
we can end up being so cruel to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like it's my work and my family's work if they want to. They don't have to.
Right.
Of like you were saying, how do I show up and be curious about myself and
Mhm.
curious about other people
Yeah.
and not hold a rigid image, a static image of somebody because that's just not who we are as humans.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things that I wrote down is, all right, I'm going to read from it.
Yeah.
We continue to grow and change. Are you willing to stay curious and fall in love with me 17 times over my lifetime?
Yeah.
Right? Like that could be held within the romantic context, but honestly, like it's held within all relationships of
Yep.
family dynamic, of um
Friendships.
friendships. Yeah, absolutely. Like are you willing to fall in love with me a minimum of 17 times over my lifetime? Moreover, are you willing to give me that space to grow and to change and to stay curious about me and my own life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I willing to do that? Am I
Yeah.
willing to
Yeah. Are you
stay
willing to do that?
stay open and stay curious? Am I willing to do it? Because
Yeah.
sometimes even I can find myself getting locked into the narrative of no, this is who I say I am, so this is how I have to show up. Right?
Right.
Like I especially on days where I'm like super low energy
Mhm.
and I am experiencing slightly more sadness, like I feel like there's a part of me that is okay, is something wrong with me? No. You're
Yeah.
having a bit of an off day. You're just okay, low energy. All right. How can I stay open and stay curious to the message of whatever is coming up? And it's all good, right? Like the biggest thing in my world right now is showing up for a career that I don't feel passionate about.
Yeah.
And it is draining me.
Yeah.
It has me in masculine energy. It has me putting on a poker face. It like I and we've talked about this before on this podcast is that like I love the people who I work with, but I don't love the field that I'm in. And I can't override and force myself to do it. And
Right.
so I'm getting into the space of, okay, I'm grateful for the time that I have been here because by the grace of God, I landed here. Thank you. Truly.
Yeah.
It was the thing that I needed during a time where I really needed it. Thank you. Very grateful for that. And great. I see that it's not working. I cannot ignore this part of myself.
Yeah.
So, body. we're going to continue to show up that by the end of the year we have an exit strategy.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to remain open to creative exploration and putting forth a plan to get ourselves out of this.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and it's such a courageous thing to do, to listen to your body and to listen to what your heart is saying, which is like, this isn't in alignment with me.
Yeah.
Like, grateful for it,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
but the next steps are me becoming more aligned
Yeah.
with me.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And everybody celebrated when I was promoted, right? Like, and I remember being on the phone with a family member and they were celebrating and I was literally like, "Thank you." And they were like, "Do you like it?" And I'm like, "No.
No.
This is
Yeah.
temporary." And then
Yeah.
I was met with such confusion. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie to myself and be like, "Yes, this is great. I fucking love it." Like, no, this
Yeah.
is not my passion. This is
Right.
not my world. I am here temporarily. And just because I landed a desk job and I'm paid a full time salary, like that's also really limiting.
Yeah.
I come home and I'm exhausted and I go right to bed.
Right.
And then I can't wait for the weekends to just fucking lie around because I'm fucking exhausted.
Yep.
And then I'm like, okay,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with me. My body is indicating that I'm in the wrong environment.
Hmm.
I'm not going to give myself a pill. I probably over caffeinate a little bit too much. I am my
Yeah.
dedication to coffee is a little too high. I get it. I also counterbalance with water.
Yeah. Good. That's good. Hydrate.
I understand the pattern that I'm in, but I'm also saying to myself, I will not ignore that message
Right.
is clearly saying, poking at me like Lindsay, Lindsay,
Yeah.
Lindsay. And so back to the question of, am I willing to fall in love with myself 17 times in this lifetime?
Hmm.
That also means staying open and curious to, okay, what excites me now? What lights me up now?
Yeah.
Currently in this moment, my response is North Node.
Yeah.
Everything about how we facilitate together, everything about what it is that we're developing, the curious conversations, especially within the last week, it's like, oh, that kind of feels fun and exciting. That
Yeah.
gives us a home and feels safe and exploratory. Like,
Yeah.
what else can we do with that? Like,
Right.
let me investigate that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's and again, so courageous, right? Because you're leaving everything that you've learned is safe,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
we don't
and
know, we don't know how this is going to develop. We
right,
just know that like we're fucking so energized by it
yeah,
that it's leading us to step out of our comfort zone more and more to
yes,
to pursue it because we don't like, right? Like, you could stay in your career that you're in. I could continue to do individual therapy and make money, but like, it would kill our souls.
and then and then health issues would start arising,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm already noticing, like, okay, my gym activity drastically went down,
Yeah.
and like my gym experience showing up 3 to 4 times a week was like my sacred space. That was my
Right.
meditation. That was my way of igniting my fire. Like I also recognized that that was a way of me fighting for my life because of healing my brain, but also like it was also a very sacred space that I did not want to fuck with.
Yeah.
And getting promoted, I don't have the energy to go to the gym. And I'm like, I just I don't even have the energy to walk because it's sucking so much
Yeah.
of my world. It's sucking
Right.
it. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, my body is changing. I've gained some weight. And then I'm like, okay, let me love my body in these extra curves.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think the only thing I'm really going to say this. The only thing that I like about gaining weight is how much bigger my boobs are. I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
That's the only thing that I like. And I'm like, okay. Right. But also, like, I'm just going to love my body in this way and say, this is temporary.
Yep.
Right. Like, the body is always changing. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of extra curve. And I'm like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah.
But it's a message, it's information, it's
Yes.
data of, okay, this is a result of you saying yes to this opportunity in your life for more financial stability. Is it worth it?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm literally like, I've got my office door shut because I just can't fucking like have another conversation because I've got too much work to do, is that worth it?
Right. Exactly.
It is not. This is not worth it. And if they pile more shit onto my to-do list, I'm going to be like, what's your priority?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? And then I'm going to start checking out.
Right. Yeah. I totally get that. Listen, I love the people that I work with. I love my clients so much. Like, so much. And yet, when I look at my schedule and then I'm like, oh, I could add more individual clients, I'm just like, fuck, no, I don't want.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Sometimes you tell me like how many clients you're meeting for the week, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. If you want to do that,
Yeah, dude. And
yeah,
if I was doing groups with you like every other day,
right,
I would be like, I fucking love this.
yeah,
Like, I am excited to go. Like, let's do this. Like, there wouldn't be an ounce of me that would be miserable.
right, right. So for those of you listening, let's practically like workshop this. So we both are finding ourselves in a state of friction regarding career. We both are finding ourselves in a state of frustration regarding our career. But also like, okay, universe, like shit is expensive. Like we need to like live, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are open. It starts with setting the intention of acknowledging where you're complaining about, acknowledging the frustration, like accepting it. Like, okay, great. I am in full acceptance that my choices have gotten me here to this state of frustration, but also I'm grateful for the gift. Okay,
Yeah.
universe, let's sort of like shift this because we're not quite there yet. So how do we make this much amount of money doing the thing that we love with North Node and then staying open to the creative possibility, which guess what is going to require some risk that is going to provoke some fear of, oh shit, we're doing the thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's like that moment of taking the leap off of the high dive,
Yeah.
right? Like, but it's also going to be so exhilarating.
Yeah.
And I've done this enough, I've changed careers enough to know that there's going to be an oh fuck moment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like, okay, here we go.
Here we go. We're really doing the thing.
Yeah.
So, where in your life, for those of you listening, where in your life are you ignoring yourself based off of, you will find the answers based off of your complaints? Dig a little bit deeper, get curious, ask yourself, okay, why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
Right? Like I had this huge acknowledgement of the job is not going to change.
Yeah.
I had the ego, I will be fully transparent here. I had the ego of figuring it like, no, no, no. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to like show up to the best of my ability. I'm going to shift this area of this company. I mean, if I was meant to, yeah. And I have shifted it actually. I have shifted it. But also the job itself is not going to change, right?
Right.
Like I continue to show up, like my boss is like, "Great, you're a fucking rock star. Let's pile this on because you can do it. You can do it all." It's like, actually, I'm already wearing three hats.
Yeah, like this is a
Let's think about
yes.
this for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's really, like, I cannot do five things simultaneously. And I'm sure that moms feel the same way.
Oh yeah. No
Do five
doubt.
things simultaneously. So, where do I get to communicate what's not working?
Right.
And
Right.
yeah.
Like I get it. Like for me, it's like easy to just sit in a room with clients and talk. It's a it's I'm used to that.
Yeah.
It's a comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's a it's me playing small in a way. And so it's like what fear do I have of playing bigger in my life? Right? Like what fears are there related to what if I'm heart-centered in my career and I move through it in that way? Like
Right.
what told me that that's not okay? Which
Mm.
society tells us that's not okay, right? Like how many times have we heard, "Oh, if you're an artist, you're not going to make a living." Oh, if you're a singer, songwriter, like good luck with that, right? Like it's
Right. Get something practical.
yes,
Get something that like makes sense, that like fits into this box. But like overseas in other countries, artists are like honored
massive.
and treasured.
Right. Yeah. And so like for me, growing up in a family that was very intellectual,
Hmm.
what did I learn about my heart and following my heart, right? And what is like sort of stopping me from really jumping into that? Which again, I'm not like a complete intellectual with my clients. I am very heart-centered. Like
Oh,
that's right, like that's how I work. But I've outgrown this
yeah.
context in which I work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
And
working.
allowing yourself to continue to grow
Yes.
is so needed and so important. We are
Yes.
not meant to find the one job and stay in it. Like that worked for our parents' generation, but like, did it?
Right.
Did
Did
it
it
really?
actually?
Right? Like, are
Yeah.
we sure about that? We're yeah, yeah. Especially because of like our astrological charts and where certain placements are. We are not, you and I, we are not meant to stay stationary. We are meant to continue to grow.
Yeah.
And we both acknowledge that North Node will continue to transform because we will continue to transform. And
Yes.
so we need to continue to show up with like, okay, what's working? What's
Right.
not working? What
Right.
worked? And I love that we do this because we debrief after every single session
Mhm.
and we ask ourselves what was working, what didn't work.
Yep.
What triggered you? And then we're holding space emotionally. What triggered you? What do you need to still work on? Right? Like so
Right.
because as healing facilitators, like, yeah, we're going to be provoked too,
Totally.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another area of like an opportunity for us to heal and grow and yeah,
Yeah.
as you said, debrief and explore together. And this leads into, are you speaking your truth? Right? Like
Ooh, yeah.
growing
Yeah.
up, I don't know if it's past life stuff or just this life stuff, but man, it was so challenging for me to speak my truth. And I still am challenged in that of believing, and this is a really interesting thing. I do a weekly consultation group, and in that group, we discuss the two major negative cognitions that people have, global cognitions, global thoughts.
Mhm.
Uh, One is I don't matter, and the second one is I'm not enough. So I explore this. I was reflecting on this, and what I internalized growing up was both of those, but I would say more so the I don't matter. My voice doesn't matter. I can't
Yeah.
have an impact on people around me. Somehow, through my experiences, I internalized that, and I still feel like remnants of it at times, even when we're doing therapeutic theater. I'll have these like brief moments of feeling like anxious and like, oh, I said that. Is that going to land? Or um, a critical voice in me that says, nobody's going to listen to you. So that's a piece of, I think, this exploration of what is holding me back, what is holding you back from fully believing that
Yeah.
we are so worthy and capable of leading groups and impacting people,
Yeah.
because we are.
Yeah.
And the more I reveal and pull that stuff to the surface and hold those younger versions of myself that say, but I don't matter,
Mm.
the more I heal them, the more I'm going to be able to step into that expansion of I do matter, and looking at everybody around the room, y'all do matter.
Yeah.
And I embody this and you can embody this.
Yeah.
So I'm curious for you, like as you hear me speak,
Mhm.
what stands out for you inside of that?
In this sense of like looking through the same lens of perspective.
Yeah, the two major global cognitions, how are you not speaking your truth?
How, how am I not speaking my truth?
Or are you speaking your truth?
No, let's be real. How am I not speaking my truth? I think really I'm not fully allowing myself to claim what I know I deserve.
Mm,
So in my prayers to God and in my claims of, okay, universe, let's be co-creative here.
yeah,
I know this to be true, so let's do it. I
yeah.
mean, even in this conversation right now, in this moment, I'm feeling an energetic shift. So I know that I haven't been fully honest, but in this moment, I'm allowing myself to be fully honest.
Beautiful.
Of great, let's fully claim it because I know it's true. I am more than worthy. And I have been
Right,
underpaid my entire adult life. Let's go. Let's
right,
fucking do this.
right. And the thing is about this, and that's beautiful, is that, and I know I can believe this sometimes, that I have to like, and this is all or nothing thinking, I have to have my full self believe it completely for me to actually believe it. And that's not true. We are a multitude inside of us.
Yeah.
You set that intention of like for you, like I speak my truth. I am of value
Yeah.
and I will be paid of my value, right? I'm worthy of like abundance, whatever that may look like.
Right.
And for me, it's I matter
Mhm.
and I am an impact on myself and other people. Yeah, there's like younger versions of me that are like, oh, okay. You know, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
thinking this. And some that aren't fully on board, but that's okay. That
Right.
doesn't mean that I can't set that intention and really like step into that. That's the piece that you were saying, which is, oh shit. That's the internal, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm stepping into this
Yeah.
energetically. And then how that extends into the 3D, the external world of, oh, we have this opportunity and we are gonna like be courageous and jump, right? like both of those things come together.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, there's so much power in my decision. And once I fully decide
Hmm.
and anchor that energy down,
Yeah.
right? Like now we're getting into energy work. Um, like I feel a shift within my field. I feel a shift within my pillar of light. And the power of my decision is by far like it creates very, very fast ripple effects and very fast manifestation.
Yeah.
So when I allow myself to fully decide and fully claim it of like, no, 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 this is the decision. This is what is going to come to fruition into my life. Here we go.
Yeah.
I know that it happens. I know that it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, let's speak a little bit more of that because I was feeling that too when I said, like, I matter. I can feel that in my body, and it does feel like it drops down from my throat into my solar plexus and heart, and then down into like my root
Yeah.
chakra.
Yeah.
And it like lands there, right?
Yeah.
And then it there's this energetic like movement out that I feel. And then
Yeah.
all of my younger versions of me, I can sense that they are, it's almost like they settle. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm okay.
I love that you're speaking about the root chakra because that's your divine masculine energy. And the fact that you're saying that it expands outward again speaks to your divine masculine energy. And
Mm,
for me, within the feminine, I I feel it resonate within my sacral chakra first.
okay.
And then I feel it expand upward.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So the masculine energy comes down this way and the
Right.
feminine energy moves this way. And
Oh,
so
that's so funny. I forgot about that. And now I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
yeah. So how we're speaking to the energy movements and the energy shifts within us is speaking to our divine essence and which we mostly embody and carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So which is speaking to our truth.
Yes.
And when we acknowledge that, that's our barometer, that's our compass, that's the guide to okay, what is it that is going to make us feel fully alive.
Yeah.
It does scenarios like this, the one that I'm finding myself in, does that speak to how I know the truth of my energy moves? And if the answer is no, then why continue to show up? Why
Right.
continue to show up?
Right.
For me, my job inverts my energy,
Mm. Hmm.
reverses it. I do not feel like I can be creatively expansive. I do not feel like I can really use my energy in the way that I know that I am a powerful entity. If
Right.
my if my glorious bosses would just allow me to show up in my creative energy, I know that I could drastically shift their company.
Sure. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it in my own way, but I'm doing it in such small doses because I'm trying to manage all the shit that, like, the wormholes that they're making me travel through. Whereas, like, no, 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 in the conversations that I'm having, in the small ways that I'm able to show up and be in my feminine energy, I'm very effective.
Yeah.
Very effective. But the corporate world does not know how to integrate the feminine.
No. No. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
yet. I should really specify that. Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. That feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting too to think about the divine feminine and divine masculine and how like I matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like both, but it does feel more like masculine in a way, right? Like I matter in my impact on people. I,
Yeah.
I matter in my impact on myself. I matter in what I speak
Mhm.
to the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Would you say that like what's the counterpart to that? What's the divine feminine statement? Is it I'm good enough or is it something else? As my cat comes up.
I know that it's more of a state of being.
Okay. So, huh. My being is good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Masculine is doing, feminine is being.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's so much more to that. You can't
Oh,
just
yeah.
overgeneralize.
You're generalizing for sure.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Well, I think we can close this beautiful
Mhm.
episode out. Dude, this was such a fun conversation.
I know, right?
Really enjoyed it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're feeling better. I'm glad that you're on the mend.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm glad that we get to record this, and I'm really happy that the listeners get to um, join us on this conversation.
Yeah.
And, we would love to hear any feedback on how it's impacted you,
Mhm.
anything that you would like for us to talk about. We are completely open to that. And yeah, if you're interested in therapeutic theater, like please DM us. There's going to be future workshop series, and we are very excited to start that up.
Yes.
And we're out. Bye, guys.
Bye.